excited to bring to you the first in a series of HMH Love Notes. Today we are going to be going over logging on and navigating the dashboard. So the first thing that we need to do is log on to our HMH dashboard. And to do that, here at Weaver School District, we say wsd.net/HMH. Simple as that. And because I'm already logged into my computer here at school, it knows who I am and it says, "Is this you?" Of course it is. So I say yes. And then, like magic, I get my dashboard right up here. A couple of things to notice. These colorful little tiles here are called the carousel, and I can scroll through them using these arrows, moving them back and forth. One other thing I need to point out, one thing that kind of catches me when I'm not thinking about it every once in a while, is that I teach 7th and 8th grade, and so I have access to multiple curriculum over here. And I need to make sure I'm in either 7th, 8th, or 9th grade, whichever curriculum I'm looking for at the moment. So today in class we were reading Tom Sawyer, so I'm going to click on 8th grade because that's in the 8th grade collection. But that's how you get to your right grade. And then this carousel here is pretty sweet. It has lots of great resources for you. If you would like a guided tour at any point, if you feel like you just need to slow it way down and get to know the lay of the land, go ahead and click on that guided tour and it'll take you through the things that I'm going to tell you, but probably in more detail because I'm trying to make this quick. The teacher ebook. This is one of the things I use a lot. So when I click on the teacher ebook, it pulls up for me. And just like I said, we were reading Tom Sawyer. So I have, just like my print version, I have the text here. This is what the students see, and you can tell that because when I hover over it, it grays out. And then around here is the wrap, right, that we see in any teacher edition. So it gives me all of the information that I need for preparing to teach or supporting my English language learners. It gives me details about how I'm connecting to the core curriculum, critical vocabulary and academic vocabulary, and all kinds of things are in this wrap around the teacher edition. I can always get to my student ebook by clicking on any page in the student ebook. And when I do that, it pulls up the student version of the page that I'm looking at, because I would never, if I were projecting, I would never want to project this page to my students. I would want them to see their page as they see it. So up here at the top, if you notice, these things on HMH open into a new tab, which I think is really helpful. But it also can confuse people sometimes, because sometimes you click on something and you think, why isn't it opening? Why isn't it opening? Well, check your tabs, because sometimes it's opening in the tab up top and you just don't see it because you're on a different page. So I can see that I have my grade 8 teacher edition open here on this tab, and here's my grade 8 student edition over here on this tab. Another thing about navigating is this little bar over to this side. This is so handy because I don't know if your eyes are as terrible as mine, but when that pulls up, it's sometimes way too small for me to even see the page number. So if I go to page view, this is the button I use most of all, is page view. I can scroll that up and get it nice and big so that even my terrible eyes can see what I'm supposed to be reading. Another thing about page view is it gives you the option to choose between scrolling. So if you're the kind of person that just wants to scroll with your mouse, you can definitely scroll, or I could change my page view to clicking a single page. I'm a clicker. I like to click to go to my next page. So that's why I have these arrows here. That's my preference. Another thing about these navigation bars over here that I always tell my students is that pretty much every page has this little audio button, which means I can click on it to listen to the story read to me, or I can play the story for my students and we read together, or if I have a student who is completing it on their own and they're having a difficult time reading and understanding how to sound out words, that trouble is gone because they can listen to the audio here. I can add a bookmark at any time by clicking on this little flag at the top right corner of any page. And then I find my bookmarks by clicking on this bookmark. And you can see today I made a bookmark on page 396. So that's bookmarks. I can also keep notes and annotate. So if I wanted to annotate this onomatopoeia right here, I could highlight it, click add a note, and then I could change it to whatever color I feel like I want that day. I can underline, I can circle, and then I can also make a little annotation here. So, wow, onomatopoeia. Why did I choose that? That's hard to spell when you're not thinking about it. But anyway, onomatopoeia. I can put that right in there. I can save my notes, and then I will be able to come back and find my notes, and my teacher will be able to come find my notes if I'm a student. Or if I'm a teacher, I can see my students' notes. So there's a little bit of navigation. But here's what I really wanted to show you, because I think sometimes it's really tricky to remember this for whatever reason, but to get to another page. So if I don't want to read Tom Sawyer today, I want to read something else, I'm going to come up to this contents button and I'm going to click contents. And this arrow up here at the top says I'm in the middle of the book somewhere. So I need to arrow back until I get to the main contents page. And you can see that arrow has gone away. So that's how I know I'm at the beginning. So I have collection 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I wanted to read The Telltale Heart, I'm going to go to collection 2. I'm going to find The Telltale Heart here. Do I want to read the text? Yes, I do, because I love that story. So that's one way to navigate that I personally, as a teacher, use most often. When I'm giving instructions to my students, however, I like to know what page we're on. And of course, because I can't see it, I've got to make it bigger. But we're on page 89. So if I wanted my kids to read The Telltale Heart, I wouldn't say, hey, navigate to The Telltale Heart. I would just say, go to page 89. And to do that, they would come up here to this top little box where it says, go to page. And what a surprise, if I type in 89 and enter, guess what? I'm on page 89. So there's a little bit of navigation help. Another thing that I want to show you about the dashboard is that I can enter the student ebook straight from here. I don't have to go through the teacher ebook to get to the student ebook. And in fact, when I'm teaching, I don't usually click that. The teacher ebook is there for me as I'm planning my lessons. But then as I'm delivering my lessons and my instruction, I'm going to use the student ebook because that's what I'm going to be projecting or using with the kids anyway. A couple other things I just want to point out. So all the red stuff is teacher resources and ebook and help with your English language learners. And then all the yellow stuff, that's stuff for students. So the student ebook and the student resources and some of their interactive lessons. Then we've got assessments in green. Did you know you could get some professional development right through your HMH dashboard? Well, you can. It's right there. And then also we have these purple ones. You guys, the FYI site is my next addition to this little series of instructional videos. You're going to love it. So I'm not going to tell you about that yet, but that is definitely on the list. And also we have my notebook, which is where I can go to see my students' work that they, annotated or highlighted or bookmarked in their books. And also my Write Smart, which is a writing program. So thank you so much for joining me on this little first of the HMH Love Notes course. I hope that you learned something new today, and I hope that it was helpful. Thanks, and have a beautiful day.